Subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Click the bell button and enjoy the latest uploads from our channel.
You start?
Yeah.
So I wonder what comes into people's minds when they hear my name. Do they think of this girl who got overnight success because she featured in a song with Rahat Fateh Ali Khan? Or I don't know what comes to their mind, but I would actually like to share my side of the story, because what they see is the other side of the story, probably through social media and the media in general, I guess. It wasn't easy for me. Everyone has struggles, and just because somebody's life seems very easy and happy and satisfying, I guess, it doesn't necessarily mean that that is the truth. Everyone has struggles, and just like everyone, I'm also human, and I've had struggles. I want to talk about something in particular that I really feel strongly about, and I think that we don't really talk about much because it's taboo. There was a time in my life that I was very depressed. I had lost all self-esteem. I came to a point where I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror anymore. I gained weight. I literally thought I was worthless, and I couldn't do anything with my life. Then it went on for a little while, and depression isn't because something has happened in your life. It's not always because of one reason. You can't just when people tell you, oh, stop thinking about it, get over it. It's not one thing that you're thinking about. It's just this feeling, and it's not just at 2 a.m. at night that suddenly you feel you're really sad. No, it can also be in the morning when you're in class or you're meeting people. You're smiling on the outside, but inside you feel devastated for no particular reason. And everyone does feel like that at some point in their lives. What helped me was a fortune cookie, because I had started binge eating at that time, and I loved Chinese food, and I went and I got takeaway, and there was a fortune cookie in it, and I read the fortune that day because I was just bored, I guess. It said, it only gets better when you get better. And I reread it, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. The change has to come from within you. The satisfaction will never come from things outside of you. Only if you love yourself, only if you're happy with your own self, and only if you know your own worth, will you ever be happy. You can get all the material things in the world, you can get all the success, but the thing is, what is success? The number of likes you get on your Instagram, or the number of views you get on a video, or the amount of money you have in your bank account? I don't think so, because success is feeling happy from within. And I did not feel happy from within initially, but I built myself up to a point where I was able to do that. And after all of that, I featured on this show last year, and this song that I did with Rahat Fateh Ali Khan became viral. And again, what happened was that because suddenly everything that I did, the way that I smiled, what I wore, how I spoke to people, how I walked, how everything was everyone's business, and everyone had a right to comment on it suddenly. And I wasn't expecting it. So I kind of fell back into that trap again. I started having anxiety attacks, panic attacks. And while people were thinking that I was enjoying being the national crush of Pakistan, I guess, for me personally, it was very hard. Very, very hard. I would cry myself to sleep every night and wish I could somehow, go back in time and get my life back and be a human again, because suddenly I wasn't a human anymore. I was just this photo op and this object that everybody had a right to comment on. But I learned from all the people that supported me. I'm very thankful to them who were there for me, my family. And, and all the love that I got from, people throughout the world. But then, who I learned most from were the people who decided to bail out whenever they wanted to. And the people who hated on me for no reason, these cyberbullies, these people who would, try to harass me online and make up stories about me or try to bring me down somehow and like always trying to find out some flaw or the other, I think I owe it to them the most, because they were the ones who made me realize my self-worth even more. And even though there was a lot going on in my life, personally and professionally, I guess like everyone knows about it, I always had a smile on my face, because, you know, when I got that fortune cookie a few years ago that said it only gets better when you get better, I made a promise to myself. And there was a quote that I bought and I put right in front of my bed. It said, happy girls are the prettiest. I would see that every morning when I woke up and every night before I slept. And I'd made myself a promise that I would smile through everything, because in any situation you have two options. Either you can sulk over it, cry, or you could face it with a smile and think about possible solutions. And because the thing is, good or bad, nothing lasts. If you think you're doing really well and you're in a really good space, that's not going to last forever either. Same thing with bad things that happen to you. They're never going to last that long. So if you face them in a positive manner and you overcome them, and then later when you have overcome them, you turn back and you look at those things, they don't seem that big anymore. So only if you have this positive attitude, and only if you're able to be, you know, sure of your own self, will you ever be happy. So what I want to let people know is that I really want all of you to have faith in your own self. You should love yourself before loving anybody else. You should be sure of who you are, how much you're worth, and your own happiness means everything. You know, if you're not happy within yourself, nothing in the world will ever make you happy. And for the people who love bullying others, I think we all need to be very careful and really responsible with the words that we choose, that we put out on social media, because everything has an effect. All the words that you say, they're not isolated. When you try to bully somebody, it somehow comes back to you as well, because according to stats, like 80% of people have experienced bullying in some form or the other. It's not that there are only 20% of bullies in the world. Like, you know, like probably those 80% who get bullied are also bullied. So it's a cycle. So let's break out of that cycle. We should be more responsible with the words that we choose to express ourselves, the way that we describe others, and the way that we see ourselves and the way we see others, because everything somehow comes back and everything has a domino effect. So I would like to conclude this by saying that we're all perfect in our own imperfections, and our imperfections make us unique. We don't have to be like anybody else. We just have to be like ourselves, and that's what's going to keep us unique, and that's what's going to keep us happy and self-satisfied. So #perfectly imperfect.
Great.
बहुत बोलती हूँ मैं.
Great.